Okay, so we are having a think this week about how to not lose control as parents when our children are losing control. And yesterday we were having a think about changing perspective and being able to demonstrate what are we demonstrating to our children as adults, as parents. And today I'm thinking about actually how we are looking after ourselves. And this might seem a little bit like this wouldn't be a top priority. This might feel like this needs to be something that is further on down the line. But actually, how we are looking after ourselves is so important when it comes to how we are managing our children's behaviour and how we are responding and whether we're doing that effectively or not. And a lot of that just comes down, and so a lot of that comes down to tiredness, comes down to rational thinking, and us being calm ourselves. And this is something that has come up in so many different aspects of my work over lockdown, over the past 12 months, because of the pressure cooker that everybody feels under. So my advice is pretty consistent, really, in terms of self-care, in terms of how you are looking after yourself and how you are able to recharge your batteries. Because we all know, funnily enough, I was speaking to a mum, just an hour or so ago, about how exhausting parenting is and how debilitating it is to be permanently exhausted. And when we are permanently exhausted, or we are permanently at the end of our tether, we don't make rash decisions. We don't make sensible decisions. I can speak from my own my own experience here of being tired, being cranky, being on a short fuse. It doesn't make for a calm, compassionate home environment. So when we're thinking about how to help children, and this is children of any age, this is regardless of their age, when we're thinking about helping them to not lose control, or helping them while they are losing control, it's a no-brainer that we need to keep calm and we need to help them navigate through that experience. Like it makes no sense. If you're thinking of it objectively, it makes no sense if you've got a child that is like having a tantrum, and I mean, like, that could be a 2-year-old or a 15-year-old, for you to then have a tantrum with them. Like, since when does somebody shouting back at you calm you down? It doesn't make sense. So there are a couple of things here. This is about making sure that you get enough rest and get enough sleep, which means however good your Netflix box set is, turn it off and make sure that you're in bed by 11, especially if you've got children that are waking up early. It doesn't make sense to be watching Netflix until midnight and then taking half an hour or an hour to wind down and get back to sleep. That doesn't make sense. And then being able to look after yourself in terms of, and I know this is a really difficult one. I understand that this is so difficult especially for mums. No offence to any dads out there. But whoever is doing the primary care for the children, it might be dads, but whoever is doing the primary care, it's difficult to step out and do half an hour of exercise, or go out and do a walk for half an hour, or do some yoga for half an hour, or meditate or whatever. I get that it's hard, but it needs to be a priority. I mean, it absolutely needs to be a priority to be able to get some headspace, because if you are getting up early in the morning, I don't know what time everybody's children wake up. Let's just, I think the majority of children tend to wake up at around 7, give or take half an hour either side. And then, well, it depends what time they're going to bed. Maybe your evening, you can get some time in the evening when they're asleep. A lot of children aren't going to sleep till really late at the moment either, because of the lack of routine. So if you're permanently wired and then you're going to bed late, you're just on a hamster wheel. You're just going to be exhausted. It doesn't make any sense. Your temper is going to be short. You're not going to be able to empathise with your children properly. I mean, we were thinking yesterday about, being good role models and being able to demonstrate, compassion and empathy and all of that. If you're not able to do that if you're tired, or you're not able to do that as effectively if you're tired. So part of that is about good sleep hygiene, and part of that is about getting good exercise and getting yourself some like mental space. And regardless of whether you're able to do that or not, it's also about being able to recognise when you need to walk away, because we can often get into a headlock. We can get into a battle of wills with our children and with our partners, right? I mean, this is all of this is applicable to all relationships, to our partnerships, as well as our relationship with our children. Because what we're thinking about here is we're thinking about family environment. So family environment is how you all communicate together, how parents communicate together, how parents communicate with children, how children communicate with each other. It's all one and the same thing. It's all in the same melting pot. And so learning when you need to step out and have time out is just as important as anything else. I don't actually practice time out for children. It's not something I believe in. It's not something that I recognise as being helpful. I don't have a problem with anybody else doing it if you feel that it's helpful. I don't like it. It doesn't sit comfortably with me. But I do recognise when I need to have time out, and when I need to just step away and just have 5 minutes to just breathe. And that doesn't mean like 5 minutes in a strop being moody. That just means I'm just going to make a cup of coffee and just go and sit upstairs just for 5 or 10 minutes and just kind of like gather my thoughts, because it's exhausting. It's exhausting if you've got school-aged children and you're working and you've been homeschooling at the same time. We are everybody, children included, right? I always say this as well. We are all under enormous pressure. Our children are our heroes for having got through this last year without having seen any of their friends, or just for like 3 months between September and Christmas. Like, they've done all of their learning online. Like, they have every right to feel frustrated, and they have every right to be having a bad day, as do we. So it's just about understanding and being compassionate towards each other, and understanding that, and actually recognising, I can feel myself getting really angry now. I can feel myself losing control here while they are losing control over there. Obviously, you've got to manage the situation. You can't just there's not every situation where you can just say, I'm just going to leave you to it and just go upstairs. Like that's not always going to be appropriate. But it is about being able to see the situation for what it is and manage that situation, and know when you need to respond. And tomorrow I'll be talking about how you respond and ways of responding so that you can help end that situation. But for now, it's just about actually recognising that that you might be feeding into that situation by how you're responding, and actually it might be just a lot more effective for you to walk away. I do this with my, you know, I haven't had to do it fortunately too many times, but when my 8-year-old has been losing it because she can't do her homework properly, or to be honest with you, even if she's just on Roblox. I mean, Roblox is like the saviour. She gets to talk to all of her friends on Roblox. It's absolutely lovely. I've got no problem with it at all, within, you know, sensible amounts. When she's screaming at her computer because it's not doing what she wants it to be doing, telling her off for being angry is ridiculous. Because telling her off for being angry is ridiculous, right? Like when has anybody, if you're being really angry and somebody tells you to calm down, how many times has that worked? It doesn't work for me very well, to be honest with you. And also just recognising, yeah, like computers are really annoying, phones are really annoying. It's really annoying when you're trying to do stuff and it doesn't work. Like, respect the fact that they are allowed to be angry. It's okay. Did I need to intervene in that time? No, I didn't. You know, no, I didn't. So I just left her to it, and said to her, like, I understand, like, parting words, I understand it's really annoying. Please don't break your computer. Please don't break your laptop. And then I went off, and then I got her a banana and a drink and kind of slid it next to her a few minutes later, and hoped that that diffused the situation, which, I mean, it did. But you know, it's we have to recognise our own behaviour. I'm aware that there's a few of you, and I'm purposefully not saying hello, so I'm really sorry. Because when we're over in my other group, I do say hello, but this is on a public page, so I don't want to name you just because you might not want me to. 0 times it's worked for me. What, somebody telling you to calm down? Absolutely. I mean, it just doesn't, does it? It's just petrol on a flame. Let's be honest. So yeah. So look, I've gone a little bit around the houses there, but that's the lesson for today, or that's my 2 pennies worth for today. Good sleep hygiene, good self-care. Being able to recognise when you're feeling angry too, and knowing when to walk away, because we don't always have to intervene. Okay, we can walk away, and then tomorrow I will talk about ways that we can intervene. Okay, fireworks. Yes, I don't think you'll mind me mentioning your name, Nicola. Fireworks. I get it. Okay, all right, ladies. Have a lovely rest of afternoon. I bet you're all. If for anybody that's not in the Happy and Fulfilled group, come and join us on Thursday. We're talking about toxic relationships, and I'm sure we'll be making a little bit of time in there as well for how we're all feeling about the kids going back to school. All right. So have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll catch up with you guys soon. Take care.